Hello, ciao ciao. I'm back from Italy. I had a fantastic trip. I will be doing another video, not today's video, but my next video. I'll print out some pictures and maybe make a little mini scrapbook with some of my memories from Milan. What could be inside this amazing little fat envelope? I'm not sure, but it could be 4 generations of a family tree. I'm not going to show you. You have to wait till the end of the video to see the finished product. But stick with me. This is a really fun project. I was actually inspired when I was in Italy. My husband's relatives are from Italy to do this when I got home. And of course, all these characters are fictitious. They're not my actual relatives. But now I have a whole template, and so will you, to make a beautiful 4 generation family tree. So I have printed out instructions. You really need this just for the details. And it's made in 2 halves with a little diagram. This instructions on how to download this will be in the description. The last time I tried to attach one of these, I ended up having to do it in Pinterest. So if that's the case, the instructions will be there. I'm not sure how to add a link for a document in my YouTube video. So if any of you know that, please comment. Let me know because I would love to know that. But it will be accessible somehow. And I also wanted to say that this is more complete than the one I used in the video because, of course, when you do something all the way through, there was a couple of edits I had to make. So print this out ahead of time and use this if you want to work along with me. But please enjoy the video. Let's get started. These are the file folders, or the hanging file folders. I liked that neutral color. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off this piece in here. And they're approximately 1 inch. So the finished size of the family tree together is about 14 by 23.5. So let's go ahead and just cut off this edge. Just going to go right in. We've got the Big Daddy paper cutter. Like so. So now this is 1/2 of the family tree. And the other side is the other half. So let's go back to the instructions and see what we're working with. Fold edges to file fold center to make 4 3.5 inch rows. Okay, let's do one at a time. So when I say that, this is the center I'm talking about, okay? It's important to put a little T here and a little B for bottom here because you can really get turned around if you don't. So it's a rectangle the long way. That's the left half. We'll make a mirror of this on the right half. So let's go ahead and follow the instructions. So fold edges to the file folder center, which is that. We're going to fold them in. Now we're going to turn it 90 degrees and fold in half to make approximately 4 6-inch columns, okay? So let's fold this in half. You know, you could almost do this with a brown paper bag. It might be a little bit easier to fold. I was just thinking sturdy. I want this to last a long time. But these file folders are no joke to fold. I think in the end I'm going to be happy because it's nice and sturdy. Those fold in. That comes out. We see that's our top and that's our bottom. Okay, what's next? Now we're going to cut some lines and cut out some blocks. So what I like to do is right off the bat just put an X through the blocks that are going to get cut out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So block 3 and 4 are going to get cut out, and this block and this block are going to get cut out. So let's do that first. And then we're going to cut that line, just that top line, just to right there, okay? And we're going to cut here, and we're going to cut here. Okay, so those two can get folded in like that. These two can get folded in like that. So far, so good, right? So this is the left half. So let's go ahead and put an L. Or we can just go left. That's going to get covered up. So now we're going to take the other side and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, just reversing everything over. Just want to make sure these are all getting folded the right direction. Okay, so we did that. So we have our left side of the family tree, we have the right side of the family tree, and that's kind of what it looks like. And we'll do all the flipping and everything. What's next? So cut individual background pieces, 2 5/8 by 3 1/8. So I made a little template for a little background piece. And what I was thinking is it might be cool to do 2 different colors for the 2 sides of the family tree. Or you can do the whole thing the same if you want. It's just that we're putting actually, two families together here. So I thought that might just be clearer that way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. I need about 10 to 12 of each, and I split it up. I thought it would be kind of a good idea to do, one family and the other half of the family like that. And then when we get down to current day, we might do another color. My imaginary family members that I printed up, I wanted to do in sepia and more like this. So some of them that I printed up are more of like black and white. I thought what I would do to make it a little more uniform is to take a little bit of tea dye. I tried vintage photo and tea dye, and I think tea dye works a little better to give me that color, that sepia color. So I'm offsetting a little bit in the corner and start off the photo and just kind of very lightly do circles across it. Just to give it a little bit of a hint of that sepia. As much as I would have loved to use my own photos, I don't think it's fair to my family. But the great thing is that I will go through and do another one for my family because I have some great memories and photos. And this day and age, we keep all of our photos on our phone for the most part. And I just thought that this project is a great way to just really get some things printed out. I mean, the other thing is you have to be careful unless you're someone who uses a hard drive and very diligent about saving things to iCloud, and it'd be easy to lose a lot of precious photos. I thought this was a really fun project, and it's actually going to be Christmas presents for my kids. As you can see, I have quite a mess on my desk. I needed some extra pictures for Grandma and Grandpa, and I decided to use some Tim Holtz paper dolls and then just mount them on a little die cut. So that's what I'm doing now. I thought I would just show you a couple of those, and then I'll keep moving forward. So I have a round, I'm doing some round and I'm doing some square. Don't really have a system, but we'll see how it works out. So what I'm doing is just taking that, and I think I'm going to put this guy on here. I'll go back and do a little bit with the vintage photo and see if I can get that to match a little bit with the sepia. And I'm just kind of making a line, cut these guys off and mounting him on there. Of course, poor guy's arm is coming off. Okay, we are ready to start gluing some of our relatives down. Now, remember my last video, I said when I procrastinate when I'm afraid to try something. I haven't brought this project to the end yet. I've done like samples, but so I actually, since I did the last part of the video, I've made green bean salad, deviled eggs, and pea soup because I'm afraid to go to the next step. But that's okay. I needed to make that stuff anyway. But what I wanted to show you was, so I'm finally sitting down and I'm going to push myself through this. What I thought, I did a little, we'll fold this all up and I'll show you. It fits into this great little envelope. But what I'm doing now is, if you can see how that is, when you fold it up, there has to be kind of a little space in between. So when we fold this all together, was what I wanted to show you. We don't want anything, so it's going to kind of fold like this. So you have to make sure there's enough room for everything to fold in. So I'm just going in, and if there's a little area that needs a little clipping, like on the fold, I'm just making it a little, taking off just like that much, just a little tiny bit. And I think it will all fold in nicer. Right here, for instance, I can see that there's a little extra bit that I can cut off, and that's going to make that nice. So this side looks good, and this side, I have gone ahead and edited my instructions because, of course, as you do this, and since I didn't do it all the way through the end, I'm learning as I go. So you will have a nice set of beautiful, clear instructions, because I had to take off actually another box. And then you've got the bulk of the background paper and the photo on there. So that's why I think it's nice to have a little extra space. So this is looking really good. So I have typed up all of the relatives' names, date of birth, and if, other generation's date of death, and I die cut them with this cute little scalloped edged die cut and inked around the edges, and have just kind of paper clipped those together with couples. So what I wanted to show you now was, I'm just going to lay out the background paper. I will glue this all off camera, of course. I'm going to do both sides. Let's go ahead and just start laying down. So the background paper, what I did was, I'm alternating every other. I don't know, it was just an easy way to do it. And then here, we'll get the polka dot, this. I did glue down some of the children already. I took a picture, I laid it all out and took a picture. Of course, I'm using my phone to record, so that's not so helpful to me right now, but that's okay. We're getting it. Anthony Spazinski. So that's that. That's what I did. I did them in actually 4 different colors. I just thought it was more interesting to kind of alternate, and you'll see it'll make more sense when it's all together. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of this glued on, and then we'll go to the next step, because what I want to do is little connectors between the married couples. I have this cute little heart die, and I think that what I'm going to do between the couples is that'll indicate that they're married. And then I'm going to do a little arrow that points down to their children. So I'll have to cut those out. So the mystery, and the reason why I'm still a little nervous about this, is I'm not quite sure how I want to connect it in the middle. I think I'll just finish this and then come back, because it's kind of hard to explain. I have almost everything glued on. This is exciting. So I kind of did a little fold, and what I want to do is connect here and here. This is where the current family is, and it just works. I got this cool paper tape on Etsy. It's really neat. I'll put a link in the description. I thought that looked nice down the center. I'll probably do it on the back side as well. So that is the only place where this will be actually connected. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure everything is like lined up here. I think I'm going to put down a little bit of just give it a little extra reinforcement with this, because that's kind of an important juncture. Gave a little top and bottom, a little allowance, and then we can go ahead and put these guys on. This side I had flipped over and turned, so there's some X's on the back of it that I didn't pen. Do everything in pencil, and you can erase it. But because of that, I had a great idea. I'm going to flip this whole thing over, and I'm going to stencil the back, because let's just do a quick little, these are going to close, and I can actually show you the closure. I have a little ribbon, and I punched a 1-inch hole. This is Tim Holtz's background papers, and used my crocodile to just put a hole in the middle. So I'm going to just put a little brad through there, and with some Velcro, and that's going to hold that down. So I have 4 of those closures that I'm going to do, but I want to stencil first. So I was just going to show you. So those will close, these will close, and these will close. And we'll put those closures on, but in the meantime, I'm going to flip it over. I think I'll put another piece of this tape on the other side, and we're going to stencil this. And I thought that would be nice. So I've got all my little hearts on. Originally I was going to put a heart in between them, but then I realized that when you fold it, it would be a little bit too hard with a heart folding in between. So I put one on each side. The other thing I did was I die cut this tiny little arrow, if you can see it, between each couple pointing to the children who are there. So arrow to those kids, and so on. So I am ready to put my closures on. So let's do that together. We are really winding this project up. It has been so fun. So that's going to go like that. I guess while I'm doing it, I'll just throw this on there so that can allow it to dry. So I have these little double-sided Velcros that I've already got sticky on them. I don't really trust the sticky, so I'll add a little bit extra glue. Actually, they are pretty darn sticky. Well, let's give it a try. So we'll put this right in the center. And then I'm going to glue this. We are eyeballing this. I'm not measuring. So, you know, if they pull up, I'll go back and glue them. There we go. Wow, this is exciting. This is very fun. How this works is this will fold up. I'm doing this with you guys for the first time. This is exciting. This will fold up. This will fold down. Oh, I got an X there. You know what? That's okay because I might put something else on there. That will fold down. This is going to fold. Let's see which way it wants to fold. And that will fold like that. Oh my goodness. And then I have this cool envelope I did not make. Hopefully it's big enough. I might need to make another envelope. I'm going to make a bigger envelope. This is just too small and too cramped. So I'm just going to take a simple 12 by 12 piece of paper. This one was 4.5 by 6.5, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to use the 12 by 9 and then fold in a 1/2 inch on each side, so it will be 8 inches. About adding about 1.5 inches to the envelope, and I think that'll work well. So if any of you have seen my 2 videos ago when I did the envelope thing, it's just a very simple concept. We're going to fold the top up. This will be a little bit different than that one though, because I want the flap is going to be, the bottom flap is going to be a little bit higher. We're going to fold this down. Yeah, I think we do. Go just like that. Then we're going to fold the sides in about 1/2 inch because this is going to be the bottom. Let's see. I want to do, okay. So what we'll do now is we will cut this out. Let me just remember, wow, it's been a while since I made it. Yeah, we cut that out. Cut this. And then this gets cut down just a little bit of an angle. Same here. And then on the top for the flap, instead of cutting that, we're just going to go about 1 centimeter over, cut down to that joint, and then cut back a little. I will link that video where I made the envelopes to this. I think I want that a little bit more. Yeah. And we'll cut back here. Easy schmeezy. Those get turned in. This gets turned up. Kind of nice how that's a little lower, because when you open it, you can kind of see a little bit in there. And I also like the curved edges. So let's do that. Perfect. Nice. Okay. Then let's go ahead and cut some corners. All right, let's see how this looks. Nice. I like it. Here we have a beautiful little envelope. Look at that. Great. That's going to fit so much better in there. Yeah, look at that. Much better. Okay. I did glue down that Velcro. A little bit of a mess here. I'm just opening it up again because I want to look at it because it's so fun. I think the inside is looking pretty good. I wanted to talk about my and my husband's lineage a little bit, but first I just wanted to preface this by saying if you have a non-traditional family or you're adopted or don't really know your relatives, just add in people who mean something to you. That's okay. Friends, family, people who have made an impact on your life. I just wanted to say that. So, first of all, we'll talk about the Italian relatives moved over from northern Italy, my husband's grandmother and grandfather. In the early 1900s, they actually eloped. It was a very sweet story. His grandfather worked in a marble quarry, and his grandmother was an incredible cook, and she actually inspired my husband to become a chef, which is very cool. I'll just talk about the grandparents and where they came from. Um, yeah, they had three beautiful children and were just fantastic people. And I was really happy to get to know Nani for as many years as I did. She actually lived to be 104. She was an incredible lady. Spoke broken English, but you always knew that you were loved. And she was always cooking something for you, making you espresso, and just a wonderful, wonderful person. His father's family is from Poland. They actually had their first two children in Poland, and then his grandfather moved over and by himself and worked for a couple of years, and then saved enough money to move his wife and family over, and then they went on to have, I think, eight more children. I didn't know a lot of Bob's aunts and uncles because it was before I came along, and his father was one of the youngest in the family. Again, his grandfather was a landscaper, grandmother was a homemaker, and also a cook for a renowned family in the area where they lived. So he has a lot of that in his lineage. So he grew up in a family with mother speaking Italian with all of her Italian relatives and father speaking Polish. So he can understand a little of both, but isn't fluent in either language. But yeah, so I'm just pointing to the little arrows. So how the chart goes is that the grandparents' children, and then the children that married them are of course my in-laws, and then so on. So yeah, it's really a great chart. So yeah, so my husband of course would have been from the Frazzini family. Isn't he handsome? So let's go over to my side of the family. My father's parents were German. My grandfather was born in Germany. I did not know him. He was deceased by the time I was born. I did know my German grandmother, and I believe she was half Irish. She was a wonderful, warm, loving person. Um, yeah, the things you remember, as a child. I think she probably passed when I was a preteen, but just a wonderful, wonderful person. And they had, I believe, four children. That would be my dad, of course. And then my mother's family's from Ireland. Again, I did not know my Irish grandfather. He was deceased before I was born, but I did know my grandmother, and she was wonderful, great sense of humor, just a doll. And she made the best chicken and dumplings you've ever had. She was a sweetie pie. So yeah, basically, that's what I wanted to say. Of course, when I make my own family tree for our family, it will be very similar to this with different pictures. And the number of children, of course, will be different. I just grabbed those pictures from Tim Holtz Paper Dolls just to show you a way to add in the siblings. And I did not put the dates of birth and death of the siblings either. And of course, our two children, which would be right there on the bottom, are adults, and we have two grandchildren. So we can add a little flip up on there. And also on the top, if you want to add great parents, you can also add another row on top. So I just wanted to say that, and just thought that was kind of a neat thing. So this is going to be a great keepsake for my children for Christmas. So it's pretty exciting. And of course, our children are. Let's go ahead and close this up. All right, let's see how it works in our new envelope. And I kind of gave it a little fold memory to make it do this. So you can do the same. It really helped too. Remember when I cut those little edges to make everything a little bit smaller? I think that's why this is folding up so nicely. Let's see how it fits in here. Oh, much better. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put our family photos in here. We'll put this here. These are going to go inside. Actually, I just love this. I will be right back. I have a special little thing for the closure. So I want to put a seal on this envelope, and I have my great little wax seal kit. And of course, I can't find my colored wax. It like comes in pellets. So I'm going to try to mix some. I cut up a candle. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So I have this cute little snail ceramic thing that I use for this. So what I'm going to do is I have this kind of like mica powder that you add for embossing. I'm going to add a little bit to see if I can tint that. I know it's cray-cray, but I am going to because I didn't want it to just be clear. Let's put all our little family treasures in here. Here's an old letter. That's going to go in. And this cute little photo. Because I don't like how white that is. You know what I do. Well, if you've seen any of my videos, I love stenciling the inside of envelope flaps. Yep. Very nice, but the B is backwards. How on earth? Oh, man. You know what? That's okay. Perfect. That's a perfect ending for me. A backwards B. You get the idea. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. We'll pretend it's in the right direction. I was thinking, I guess, that it was a mirror image, so I could have turned it around and gone that way, but okay, that's all right. So anyway, how nice is that? I don't know if any of you have these, but it's a really fun thing. It would also be really nice in gold. So, of course, there's all kinds of things that you could embellish this envelope with. What a great gift. Please try it. Please send me photos if you end up doing it. Love you guys. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet so you don't miss my next video. And also, I would love to hear comments. Take care, you guys. Bye.